Wait, no. Go up. Okay. So, um, this is my video presentation on the lead mask case, um, titled "Lead Glasses and Strange Passes." So, this case starts in 1996 in um, Rio, Rio de, I don't know how to pronounce that. It's like Rio de Janeiro, something like that. But what happened was the two men, Miguel Jose Viana and Da Cruz, were found lying dead next to each other in Vietnam Hill, um, where a man who was just innocently trying to fly his kite found the two dead bodies. So, a little background. These men were known for being UFO hunters. They were, what is it? They were what was to be considered scientific spiritualists, meaning they studied science. Like a science, I don't know. I didn't look into it. But the two men uh, were pretty much obsessed with contacting extraterrestrial life from another place. Background noise. Um, so, uh, so originally, so these men told their families they were going to Sao Paulo to buy a car for work. They were electric repairmen, right? And they were going to Sao Paulo to buy a car, but they ended up in. I also don't know how to pronounce that. It is. I don't know. I'm just not gonna try. It looks like Niter Niteroi, Niteroi, Nitroy. I don't know, but it. But they rode a bus from Campos de Goitacazes, which is 170 miles away from where they ended up. Whenever the men arrived at the city, they made several stops. They stopped and purchased two identical raincoats at a local store and a bottle of mineral water. Right? And something. Whoa, 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 whoa. Bailey, shut up! God. Anyway, sorry for the interruption. I'm just gonna keep going. I'll keep that in the video. Um, but what was I? What was I talking about? But they found that they bought a mineral water at a bar, and the men had kept the receipt from the bar, which insinuates that they were going to return to the bar for a full refund on the bottle, because in Brazil you can return a bottle to the place where you purchased it and get a full refund on it. So that happened. But also, the bartender who sold the bottled water to me stated that something seemed off about them. Like, she claimed that Biana seemed nervous and that he repeatedly was checking his watch and that something was just off. You know, bro just wanted some Topo Chico and he just got bad vibes from him, right? But Later on, they were found dead, right? And where were you, Addie? I'm doing a presentation. I'm doing a presentation. All right, go on. So, but go away. But so, all right. But after the men were found, the police investigated, and they were unable to find signs of any trauma on either man. And despite the men being left in the wild for several days, the wildlife refrained from touching them. So, and after the autopsy, police were able to further conclude. I wish that we can lose this crowd. Maybe it's better this way. You want to say could have been so good together. Bailey, shut up! You're distracting me. God. Okay. So, after an autopsy was performed, police were able to further conclude that the man had sustained no injury whatsoever. And even though an accurate toxicology could not be performed due to the composition level of the bodies, it might have shown and proven that the men were poisoned. And this note that you'll see on my screen right now was a note that was found with the bodies. And where was I? Where is this? Okay, there we go. And this note read 1630, be at agreed place, 1830, swallow capsules uh, after effect, protect, um, that says something, protect, put mask on, wait for mask, protects mask, metal, I don't even know. Says something about mask. Don't put mask on till the signal, right? That's what that says. So these men were found dead in hills. They were left for 3 days. They were found with a note, an odd, very odd note. And they were also found with the identical raincoats, the receipt, and a notebook. And this notebook was very odd. It had uh, it had read hold on. It had lots of math equations, which wasn't odd or peculiar because of the men's profession as electric repairmen. But what was odd, what stuck out to the police, was instructions that read Sunday, one capsule after lunch, Wednesday, one capsule at bedtime, and Bailey stop. So, yeah. But let's jump into the theories. That was the background. This case is still unsolved. There's just been nothing, right? But our first um, theory is that the men were killed by aliens, right? So, as I stated previously, these men. Oh, did I state this? I don't remember. But anyway, but these men were what were called scientific spiritualists. They tried contacting spirits from Mars, and one theory says that they were killed by aliens because um, these men had a very strong fascination with contacting aliens, right? The men, like these two men, along with a friend, Alicio Gomez, attempted multiple times to contact these spirits, these so called spirits. And at one point, they even constructed a device to help allow them to contact them, but it blew up in their backyard. The three men tried again at a nearby beach, and they claim to have seen an explosion in the sky. Okay. Um, right. So after the first initial test, whenever the device exploded, the man went to Atafana Beach to test the device, and the man claimed to have seen an orange-colored oval floating above, emitting an extreme light before the explosion. Multiple witnesses have claimed to see this flying saucer over the ocean, and the explosion was felt from miles away. It was so large that even attracted attention from the Navy. And some people thought, yo, this explode like these men died because they killed some aliens, right? It was a venge kill, right? Uh, this is how I imagine it went down, right? Boom, 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 right? And they died. That's how I imagine that would have gone down. Like it was revenge for killing their people. And oh, a second theory is that these men were murdered, right? So, uh, where is it? Oh, okay, here it is. So, and police, okay, so this is the second theory, right? Police expected their friend Eliseo Gomez to have something to do with their death, right? Because Cruz's wife claimed that he and Eliseo Gomez had an argument, right? And whenever police questioned Gomez, he too gave contradictory statements. But there was another man, Hamilton Bezzani. He claimed that he helped rob the two men after meeting at a spiritualist center. He claimed that his accomplice told him that they killed them both. They forced them at gunpoint to take poison, and that's how they died. But, however, the police were unable to find a sufficient amount of evidence to prove this theory. So it's just another one. And then there is a third theory that these men were just druggies, right? Just stoners. So people believe that they were, in fact, trying to contact alien spirits while using psychedelic drugs, which kind of stupid, right? They had Metal Mask, died of drug overdose. Like that's a fairly solid theory, Like these men just got high off the psychedelics and were insane. They believed in something odd. They're trying to prove this odd belief with psychedelics and drugs. And people believe that they died of an overdose. My theory. My theory is that the two men, like, I really believe that the second theory is pretty, like, spot on. Like, hit head right on the nail, you know, like, um, like, seriously, like, that's all I believe that happened. Like, cause the man, while the instructions were odd, the instructions to take the pill before bed on Sunday, no, after lunch on Sunday, before bed on Wednesday, that struck me as weird. High beans. But also, if they consumed the drug again before they what is it called? Before they died, uh, I believe that if they took the drug before they died and they took an incorrect dosage, or they took too much of the drug that was not intended to be taken, or like I simply believe that they killed themselves on accident. Like I seriously think that. And also the sparkling water with drugs, like if they took too much, I feel like that would have some negative effects. And this is very far fetched. My theory is very far fetched because of the amount of evidence pointing to it. But also, this is probably the most logical one that I have gone over. Mostly because, but it also can't be proven because an accurate toxicology report can't even be done. So, what happened to these men? No one knows. I don't know. You don't know. No one knows.